As a young man, around about those early years when you were in Australia at school, when did you get a sense of what it is that you wanted to do? Did you know early that you wanted to be a professional athlete?
Yes, I mean, ever since I can remember, I loved playing rugby. I grew up supporting the Springboks. My first memories watching rugby was the '95 World Cup. The opening game, South Africa versus Australia, when Peter Hendricks sort of went around Campese and gave it the fist pump and scored, and then obviously the final and then winning. So yeah, I was a huge fan and loved playing it with my brothers and at school, and always that's really what I wanted to do. I wanted to play for the Springboks, and then when we moved over, I wanted to play for the Wallabies.
Lots of people want to do it, particularly at that age, but not many people do it. How was it that you were able to carve out the career that you have?
Well, I guess the first thing is having the opportunity. I was lucky enough to go to a rugby school in Brisbane, which gave me sort of the development pathway to get noticed. But I mean, on top of that, a lot of hard work and really just applying yourself and trying to improve. I think they're probably the keys.
You have a reputation as someone who's not your average Joe professional athlete rugby player, and that you do get involved and you have political opinions and you have a range of them and you express them, which is reasonably rare in a professional sports person. What gives you the confidence to speak out and to put your marks out there and to be as confident about your opinions as you are?
Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting topic and debate, the whole sports people having political opinions and whether they should just focus on sport or be able to express their opinion. And I really think that politics affects every aspect of your life, and really, the personal is political. So it's so important that we are engaging people in debate and talking about issues, and particularly with young people, giving them not just a voice, but actually pulling them into things and trying to make young people understand that really the future of this country and how it's going to be shaped relies on them getting involved and making it a better place. So for me, when I was growing up, I really idolised a few rugby players and would try and find out everything about them. And I guess you feel that responsibility with young people looking up to you in some way. You want to be raising issues that you think are important and that will hopefully challenge people.
It's interesting in that you've come from the background that you've come, and you've come to Australia, you've recognised the opportunity, you've recognised the value of the parliamentary democracy and the freedoms that this country has. Do you think that your view is unique on that, and perhaps young people in Australia may be complacent about what it is that they have here?
No, I don't think so. I think there are a huge amount of young people getting very involved and doing some fantastic things, at a really grassroots community level and then at an advocacy level in Australia. But I think that there definitely is the percentage of young people who either don't really care or are very happy just to sign an online petition, or it's just so easy. You've got Twitter and Facebook, and you click like or you sign a petition. You think like you feel like you've played your part. And I mean, one of the most interesting studies, and that would have to be the whole Coney campaign, where at the time it was huge, and a couple months over afterwards, no one was really talking about it. So I think it's about trying to go past that, and social media and online stuff definitely has its place, but it's got to be more. It's got to be more working in your community And really, in the first instance, trying to change yourself and your own attitudes and challenging all the prejudices that you grow up with, and then in your family and then in your local community. So that's the challenge.
How will you continue to drive that change that you want to see in the Australian community?
Well, I think first and foremost you have to try and be the change, rather than just talking about actually doing things that you believe in. Whether it be spending your money on companies or goods that are doing the right thing, they're looking after farmers in the third world, or a whole range of things. I think it's got to start with yourself and your own actions.
You've started your own charity some time ago, the 80/20. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, 80/20 Vision, I guess, came out of wanting to be able to do something and have a vehicle to sort of be the change. So I talked about, and a really good mate in Perth, Luke O'Keefe, when I first moved over, met him and got on really well. And after discussions with him, we decided that we wanted to get involved. We went back to Zimbabwe a couple of times and found a community development project that was really just in its infancy, but the people were doing some outstanding work, and we felt like their motives were really good. And so we've partnered with them, and we've been involved for the past 4 years or so. So yeah, that's sort of the first thing we've been involved in. And I guess for me, moving to Australia and having the opportunities I had, and then wanting to give back, I felt like, I'm going to go back and I'm going to be helping people. Whereas my experience has been, you go over there and you really feel like you're getting more than you're giving. You're learning so much. And it really just reminds you of how being human is just really about community and about relationships. And I mean, all this other stuff and I guess many of the trappings of modern society don't bring us happiness and don't bring us fulfillment. And that can only come with community.
What are the next steps for the 80/20 Vision? What are you going to try to continue to do, and are you going to bring any of its work to Australia?
Yeah, we've talked about that. Trying to get involved here. I think one of the things that we're trying to do is partner with other organisations. One, because we think that you don't have to start something new every time. I mean, there's so many great organisations doing fantastic work. So we've recently partnered with TIA Australia, and they're also getting involved in the project in Zimbabwe, and we've started talking about other areas that we can work in. But I guess for us, we're in that awkward stage as an organisation where, do you spend money on having full-time staff to grow, or do you just try and keep growing on a more volunteer basis? So we're just working things out.